Hello, beta. So, today I am going to take a very important topic. This is not only important from the point of view of your exams, but it is also important for you to understand if you want to go ahead and make a future as an, say, investment banker, or you want to go ahead and you want to make a future as, say, where you want to go ahead and works with banks, then this is a very important topic that you should be understand. Huh. Of course, exam point of view, it is very, very important. Anyways, okay. So let us try to understand the various concepts which are related to the currency exchange. The first one that I want to focus on, beta, usko bolte hain spot rate. Then we have the forward rate. Then we want to talk about currency swaps, futures and option. इन 5 चीजों के बारे में हम आज बात करेंगे. To begin with, try to understand what is a spot rate and a forward rate. So try to see this, bache. Consider an exchange rate market. So suppose I go ahead and I tell you that this is the demand of exchange of domestic foreign currency. This is the supply of foreign currency. And ये जो demand and supply है ना, they are meeting at this exchange rate. And this is the amount of quantity traded in the market. Whenever I will go ahead and do something like this, कि I am equating the demand of foreign currency to the supply of foreign currency, then the exchange rate that you get, जो immediate equilibrium exchange rate आता है, that equilibrium exchange rate, that is called as the spot rate. So the spot rate, as the word suggests, is on the spot rate. On the spot क्या होता है? जब when we say on the spot, do this thing on the spot. On the spot means immediately. It means now. So when we are saying that this is the spot rate means that whenever demand is equal to supply, the exchange rate that you immediately get in the market, जो आज का current exchange rate है, that is called as the spot rate. Now, we want to go ahead and we want to talk about the forward rate. So, beta, forward, as the word suggests, is the rate that will exist in the future. तो हम क्या करते हैं ना forward exchange rate में? तो suppose बेटा I want to go ahead and I want to sign a contract. और ये contract बोल रहा है that I will go ahead and I will sell you some goods after 3 months. But the rate at which I will sell you those goods, just exchange rate pe that transaction will take place after 3 months. I am going ahead and telling that exchange rate today. मैं आज बता रही हूं आपको what is the exchange rate at which the future transaction will take place. So when we have something like this, when we go ahead and we decide the exchange rate today, but the transaction will take place in the future. हमने आज बता दिया exchange rate क्या होगा, पर वो transaction future में होगी, then that is called as forward rate. So let us try to understand the difference better. In most of the exchange rate transaction, payment and receipt of transaction is done within 2 business days after the day transaction is agreed upon. तो usually क्या होता है ना that mostly whenever someone buys or sells, अगर मैं आपको कुछ बेच रही हूँ, if I am selling you something or I am buying something from you in the international market, then most of the time this payment and receipt of the transaction will take place within 2 days, within 2 working days. So it's like this. For example, I want to buy something from US, right? I have to pay them. Then that transaction, जो मेरे को उसको payment करनी होगी, that will take place within 2 business days after you go ahead and the transaction has been agreed upon. तो अगर मैं आपको आज बोल रही हूँ कि ठीक है, मैं आपसे इतने किलो का कुछ खरीदूंगी, I will purchase say 10 kgs of chocolates from US, then within 2 working days I will make the payment. 2 period gives adequate time for parties to send introduction to debit and credit the appropriate bank accounts at home and abroad. अब इसको समझने की कोशिश करो, try to understand this thing. तो बेटा I have this person sitting in India, this person sitting in US. Now I am demanding something from US. मैंने chocolates मंगवाने हैं US से, and I need to make payment to US. if I have to make payment to person sitting in US, I must make that payment in dollars. To make that payment in dollar, I must inform my bank that, I want to make a payment to someone sitting in US in terms of dollars. So you must deduct some amount from my account in terms of rupees. You must go ahead and make a payment to this person, but the payment must be done in terms of dollar. So we need time for this to take place. We need a bit time so that I can inform my bank can make a payment to the person sitting in US. The same thing happens with PayPal also, beta. अगर आपने PayPal account में कभी आपने देखा हो, so in PayPal what happens ना, you don't receive the payment immediately, right? It will take time for the currency to get converted. So जैसे if there is suppose you have an aunt, she is sitting in US, she wants to make you payment. तो वो क्या करेंगी ना, she will pay you in dollar and then you will receive a notification. But it will take some time before this dollar will be converted to rupees and it will be given to your bank account, whichever bank account is linked to PayPal. So this thing takes some time, right? But these kind of transactions, they are known as spot transaction. Spot क्यों बोलते हैं? Why are these transactions called as spot transactions? Because these transactions take place on the spot. We are not going ahead and we are not waiting for any future to take place. हाँ, अभी ही हमने बोला कि I will purchase today only or within 2 days only I will make the payment and I will make the payment at the current exchange rate. So whenever anything like this will happen, that is called as the spot rate. The second kind of concept which we want to understand, this is called as forward rate. So in forward rate, what happens is, as the word suggests, there is a future date involved. जैसे मैंने आपको एग्जाम्पल दिया, I want to purchase something from you, but I am not purchasing that thing from you today. मैं आज नहीं खरीद रही हूं आपसे वो चीज. I will be purchasing for you after say 3 months. But within those 3 months, the exchange rate will keep fluctuating. So there will be a risk involved. मुझे नहीं पता ना कि 3 महीने बाद exchange rate कितना होगा. Exchange rate can appreciate also and it can depreciate also. So because I don't know what the exchange rate would be after some period of time, what will I do? I will go ahead and I will sign a contract. And in that contract, ऐसा कोई एक contract बना लेंगे that I agree to pay this much amount to this person at this exchange rate as on this period. So I will go ahead and make a contract. And this contract will say that after 3 months, जिस भी exchange rate पे हम आज agree कर रहे हैं, at whatever exchange rate I agree today, at that exchange rate, after 3 months, we will do the transaction. Now, after 3 months, the actual exchange rate can be different. सही में जो exchange rate रहेगा वो अलग रहेगा. Take an example, बच्चे, to understand this concept. जैसे example, today, I have an exchange rate market. This is the demand supply of dollars. This is the quantity of dollar. ये foreign exchange rate market है. And the exchange rate is rupees 60 per dollar and $400 are traded. अब ये जो exchange rate आया ना बेटा, this is called as spot rate today. Now what I want to do, I want to do something in the future. मेरे को 3 महीने बाद कुछ खरीदना है from US. I want to purchase something from US after 3 months. So today I go to this person sitting in US and I tell him, look, let's sign a contract. Ki I will purchase from you after 3 months at this exchange rate. This person agrees. Now the exchange rate at which we will agree, जिस exchange rate पे हम agree करेंगे, that exchange rate can be above, below, or equal to $60. So suppose this US person thinks that in 3 months, rupees will further depreciate. That means his dollar will appreciate. अगर उसको लगता है कि 3 महीने में dollar further appreciate करेगा, then he will go ahead and decide the exchange rate accordingly. So he will say, okay, I am ready to fix the exchange rate after 3 months, जो भी हम decide कर रहे हैं, but that exchange rate should be ₹62 per dollar. I am expecting कि आपका जो rupees है वो further depreciate करेगा. So I am going to charge you ₹62 per dollar, but I will sign the contract today. आज ही मैंने 3 महीने बाद क्या transaction होने वाला है उसका contract मैं आज sign कर रहा हूँ. I am ready to sign the contract today, but I will be charging you ₹62 per dollar. So I will be charging you more than the current spot rate. Clear? The other thing can also happen. Maybe he thinks that, oh no, in future, dollar is going to depreciate a lot. हाँ, he thinks कि Indian market is becoming very strong and future में India का जो rupees है वो बहुत ज़्यादा appreciate कर जाएगा. I want to cover that risk that it will go to ₹55 per dollar. आपको भी पता है, Indian को भी पता है. So in that case, what will that person do? He will say, okay, let's do this thing. That let me charge you ₹58 per dollar after 3 months. So today, both of them will go ahead and sign this contract that after 3 months, the transaction will take place at ₹58 per dollar. आज उन्होंने बोल दिया कि 3 महीने बाद transaction ₹58 per dollar पे होगी. Am I making sense? So sitting today, they will go ahead and decide at what price the transaction will take place 3 months from today. This will be called as the forward rate. This forward rate, it can be greater than the spot rate. Forward rate can be less than the spot rate. Forward rate can be equal to the spot rate. Anything is possible, right? Now, beta, ये तो हो गया as of today. So let's write the date. So suppose I tell you this is as of 28/02, say suppose 2024. As of today, हमने एक date लिख दी यहाँ पे. Now, after 3 months, that means 28/05/2024. Here again, beta, there will be some demand of dollar. There will be some supply of dollar. This demand will be equal to supply. Say यहाँ पर जो exchange rate आ रहा होगा, it will be at ₹61 per dollar. यहाँ पे कुछ exchange trade हो रहा होगा. This is the spot rate after 3 months. ये कुछ भी हो सकता है. The spot rate can be anything after 3 months. Does not matter. You have signed this contract now. According to this contract, whatever exchange rate was decided 3 months back, you have to do the transaction at that exchange rate. तो इससे फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा कि 3 महीने बाद actual exchange rate कितना है. It will not matter what is the actual exchange rate after 3 months. उससे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. It does not matter. What matters? क्या किस चीज से फर्क पड़ता है? The only thing that matters is what is the exchange rate at which you signed the contract. That is the exchange rate which would be valid. Am I making sense? Okay. Now try to read it out, beta. So coming back to this, forward transaction, agreement to buy or sell specified amount of foreign currency at specified future date at a rate agreed today. तो I am, जैसे मैंने समझाया, I am deciding the exchange rate of the future, कि future में हम इस exchange rate पे transaction करेंगे. So I am going ahead and deciding the exchange rate of the future, what will happen in the future date. And I am going ahead and I am telling you that that is the rate at which we will do the transaction. Okay, बच्चे, now coming forward, तो देखो, no currencies are paid out at the time of signing the contract. Very, very important. So when these people, they sign the contract, जैसे this Indian person, he signed the contract with the US person, कि 3 महीने बाद हम सो करेंगे. After 3 months, I will give you this exchange rate, etc., etc. Then this is decided what will happen after 3 months, beta. आज कुछ नहीं होगा. As of today, nothing will happen. As of today, no currency will be exchanged. As of today, nothing will be paid out. This is something that will happen in the future. Today, only one thing is happening, that this contract is getting signed. आज सिर्फ ये contract sign कर रहे हैं. Nothing more or below that, right? So a forward contract can be for month, 3 months, or 6 months. with 3 months being the most common. ये बात याद रखना बहुत important है. Very, very important that a forward contract can be signed for 3 kind of periods. A 1 month period, a 3 month period और a 6 month period. 3 ही periods के agreements बनते हैं with the 3 month period being the most common out of the all. Forward contracts for longer periods are not common because of great uncertainty included. तो बेटा फॉरवर्ड कॉन्ट्रैक्ट में व्हाट आर वी डूइंग? हम आज बैठ के बता रहे हैं व्हाट इज द एक्सचेंज रेट एट विच वी विल बी ट्रांजैक्टिंग इन द फ्यूचर. बट एक्सचेंज रेट इज वेरी वॉलेटाइल. तो आप बहुत ज्यादा लॉन्ग रन फ्यूचर प्रिडिक्ट नहीं कर पाओगे. यू कैन नॉट प्रिडिक्ट अ फ्यूचर विच इज टू फार साइटेड. So because you cannot predict a future which is too far sighted, you cannot have forward contract which is for a very long period of time. So only 3 kind of forward contracts are signed: 1 month contract, 3 month contract, and 6 months contract. Only 3 kind of forward contracts would be signed. Forward contract can be renegotiated for 1 or more period when they become due. तो जब जैसे जैसे period pass आता है, sometimes the two people, they renegotiate the contract if they agree. So if both parties agree, sometimes they also renegotiate this contract. The equilibrium forward rate is determined by the intersection of market demand and supply curve of foreign exchange for future delivery. बहुत important point है. Very, very, very important point. देखो बेटा, try to understand. How do we determine the equilibrium in the market? We determine the equilibrium in any market where the demand of the product equals to the supply of the product. Clear है? जैसे अगर मैं बोलूं find the equilibrium price of rice, आप बोलोगे demand of rice is equal to supply of rice. Wherever that happens, that is equilibrium exchange, equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity. This is what you will go ahead and say. Similarly, if I ask you find out, this is price and quantity. If I ask you find out the equilibrium exchange rate, तो आप क्या बोलोगे? Okay, this is the demand of exchange rate, demand of dollar. This is the supply of dollars. This is the equilibrium exchange rate, rupees per dollar, and this is the quantity of dollar traded in the market. ये equilibrium exchange rate हो गया. अब इसी तरीके से एक बारी फॉरवर्ड मार्केट के बारे में सोचो. ट्राई टू थिंक अबाउट द फॉरवर्ड मार्केट. एक इंसान तो है नहीं जो ट्रेड कर रहा है. देयर आर मल्टीपल पीपल हु आर ट्रेडिंग, और ये मल्टीपल लोग वो लोग हैं who will be purchasing in a future date, right? There are multiple people who will be purchasing a good at a future date. मतलब मैं अकेले तो नहीं होंगी ना जो यूएस से 3 महीने बाद कोई गुड मंगवा रही होंगी. There may be some other person who is ordering something from US after 3 months. Some other person who wants to buy a bicycle from US after 3 months. So multiple people who want to buy something from the country after 3 months. Similarly, multiple people who want to sell their product in India after 3 months. मतलब for this forward rate, there will exist a market. एक मार्केट एग्जिस्ट करेगी. मार्केट विल कंसिस्ट ऑफ डिमांड एंड सप्लाई ऑफ द फॉरवर्ड करेंसी. डिमांड एंड सप्लाई ऑफ द फॉरवर्ड करेंसी. डिमांड विल कंसिस्ट ऑफ ऑल दोज पीपल हु वांट टू गो अहेड एंड परचेज इन द फ्यूचर. वो सबको कॉन्ट्रैक्ट साइन करना है अपने रिस्क को कम करने के लिए, बिकॉज एक्सचेंज रेट इज वॉलेटाइल. Supply will consist again of all those people who want to supply the forward rate, right? So wherever this demand will be equal to supply, that will be the forward exchange rate. That will be the forward exchange rate. So try to read this out, beta. The equilibrium forward rate is determined at intersection of market demand and supply curve of foreign exchange rate for future delivery. तो कहां से equilibrium आ रहा है? Where are we getting equilibrium in the forward exchange rate? Wherever the demand of forward currency is equal to supply of forward करेंसी। क्लियर? तो देखो ध्यान से बेटा, द डिमांड एंड सप्लाई ऑफ फॉरवर्ड एक्सचेंज रेट अराइजेस इन द कोर्स ऑफ हेजिंग फ्रॉम फॉरवर्ड exchange rate speculation and covered interest rate arbitrage. तो ये each of this term I will explain a little later, but just try to understand. Whenever any risk is involved, देखो I know कि suppose अगर मैं यहां ले लू 2021 Jan 2000 and sorry, let's take Feb 2021 and March 2021. Suppose ऐसा कुछ डेटा ले लूं. Suppose an investor finds out that if I analyze the data of 3 months, I find the exchange rate to be very fluctuating. कभी exchange rate ऊपर जाता है, फिर एकदम से नीचे जाता है, फिर ऐसे रहता है, फिर एकदम से ऊपर चला जाता है, फिर ऐसे रहता है, फिर कुछ और ऊपर जाता है, then नीचे. The exchange rate is very volatile. It keeps changing. Now this person, he is sitting in March. ये यहाँ पे अभी, he is in March, right? And he wants to go ahead and he wants to, purchase a good in the month of June. उसको जून में कुछ खरीदना है. Looking at the earlier pattern, he finds out that the exchange rate is very volatile. पहले का पैटर्न देख के ये रियलाइज होता है कि ये exchange rate जो है ये बहुत ज्यादा volatile है. It keeps changing, it keeps fluctuating up, down, up, down. So because this exchange rate, it is very volatile, what will this person do? He doesn't want to take this risk. He doesn't know what the exchange rate will be here. So sitting in March, whenever he wants to demand any product, he will sign the contract as of today. He will sign the contract as of today that, मैं आज decide करूंगा the exchange rate at which my transaction will take place. So whenever these are the different kind of risks, beta, hedging, speculation, interest arbitrage, I will talk about all of this later. But whenever there is an involvement of risk, जब भी risk involved होगा, you will be better off by signing a forward exchange rate contract, right? The forward rate can be equal to, above or below the corresponding spot rate. ये मैंने आपको बता दिया that the forward rate can be above the spot rate, it can be below the spot rate, it can be equal to the spot rate. When forward rate is less than the spot rate, then it is known as forward discounting. Forward rate is below the spot rate. मतलब हमें लग रहा है कि future में exchange rate गिरने वाला है. So while signing the contract, the forward rate that we signed the contract at, it is below the spot rate. So if the forward rate is below spot rate, it means that it is called as a discount, forward discount. And similarly, if the forward rate is above the spot rate, अगर हम assume कर रहे हैं that forward rate will be more than the spot rate, then beta it is called as a premium. Take this example. You are given that the spot rate is $1 is equal to €1. This is the current rate. We are saying $1 and €1 are equal to each other. Right, beta? Now, today, sitting, we sign a contract that after 3 months, the exchange rate at which we do the transaction, it will be $0.99 equal to €1. तो समझो जरा, आज के टाइम पे when I give $1, I get €1. In future, देखो, always consider US to be the domestic country. For foreign authors, US is the domestic country. हमेशा याद रखना. तो I need to look from the point of view of dollar. Today, अगर मैं आज transaction करती, if I would have done the transaction today, I would have paid $1 to get €1 worth of goods. In future, I am only paying $0.99 and still getting €1 worth of goods. तो इसका मतलब तो ये हो गया ना that I am paying less dollar and still getting €1 worth of goods. I am paying less dollars and still getting €1 worth of goods. So if by paying less dollars, I am getting €1 worth of goods, can't I go ahead and can't I say that actually I have received a discount? I have received a discount. So beta, this is called as forward discount. And what is going to be my value of the forward discount? Kitna forward discount rahega hamara? What will be the forward discount? So if you can notice clearly, the forward discount is 0.01 cent. इतने का ही तो forward discount मिला है. So today I would have paid $1 to get €1 of the goods, but I signed a forward contract और यहाँ पे मुझे चीज सस्ती मिल गई. I got it cheaper. I am paying only $0.99 to get €1 of the goods. So in this case, I got a discount of 1 minus 0.99. That means $0.01. This is my discount that I have received. Clear, beta? ठीक है बच्चे. Now, on very similar basis, try to think about forward premium. थोड़ा premium के बारे में सोचो. So today, I tell you that the spot rate, beta, that spot rate is given to you as $1 is equal to €1. ये आपका spot rate है. And then there is a 3-month forward rate. And after 3 months, the rate that you are getting is $1.01 is equal to €1. तो इसका क्या मतलब हो गया? Today you had to pay $1 and you were getting goods worth €1. Then you sign a contract क्योंकि आपको आज तो चाहिए नहीं. You need this thing after 3 months. In that contract, it says that when you will pay $1.01 now, then you will get €1 worth of goods. So to get the same amount of goods, सिर्फ €1 goods पाने के लिए, now you are going ahead and you are paying more. You are paying $1.01. You are paying more. So when pay more as compared to the spot rate in the forward rate, it means that it is at a premium. किस पे हो गया बच्चे? It is at a premium. And what will be your premium in this case? Your premium will be 1.01 minus 1. That means 0.01. There is a formula which can be used to find out forward discount or forward premium. And the formula for forward discount or forward premium, beta, that is this. ये है formula to find out forward discount or forward premium. So what is the formula that we have? The formula is forward rate minus spot rate by spot rate into 12 divided by the months for which the contract is signed into 100. Clear बेटा? तो देखो ध्यान से. Example, ये वाला देखते हैं पहले. इस example को देख लेते हैं. So I have forward rate as 1.01, spot rate is 1, spot rate is 1 into 12. The contract, forward contract signed is for 3 months into 100. So 0.01 into 4 into 100. That means 4%. So this is at a forward premium of 4%. क्या हो गया बच्चे? It's at a forward premium of 4%. Clear? In very similar way, if I want to find out forward discount, जो हमने पहला example लिया था, the earlier example that I had taken. So in forward discount, what happens, बच्चे? This is your current spot rate, which is 0.99. This is your forward rate upon spot rate into 12 by the number of months into 100. So it is going to be 0.99 minus 1 upon 1 into 12 by 3 into 100. So when you will solve this, you will get the answer as minus 4. Negative का मतलब हो गया that you are getting at a discount, right? So forward rate is negative. That means it is a forward discount that you have got. So in this case, there is a discount of 4% and here it is a premium of 4%. Clear बात हो गई बेटा? So we have tried to understand what can be the spot rate and what can be the forward rate. Now I want to focus on the currency swap. So swap का मतलब क्या होता है? What is a swap? so take in the usual sense, हाँ, तो swap किसको बोलते हैं हम? So imagine there is a friend standing here and a friend standing here. इस friend के हाथ में there is a pen and इस friend के हाथ में भी there is a pen. And the two friends tell each other, you know, swap your pen with me, na? So this friend will give his pen to him and this friend will give his pen to him. ये हो गया swapping, exchanging in a way. So a currency swap is two things happening at the same time. Spot sale of the currency combined with forward repurchase of the same currency. तो हम आज क्या कर रहे हैं? In the present, we are going ahead and we are doing sale of the currency. And then in the future, we will go ahead and we will repurchase the same currency again. ठीक है? जैसे for example, let's say that let's take maybe a person, and beta, suppose this person, he wants to go ahead and he wants to purchase something from US after 3 months, right? This Indian, he wants to purchase something from US after 3 months. इस इंडियन के पास ना आज डॉलर है, ठीक है, he has $100 with him. And let's say today there is some exchange rate that exists. So let's say that the exchange rate that exists is ₹60 per dollar. So he has $100 with him and the exchange rate is ₹60 per dollar. Now he wants to purchase this after 3 months. So ye $100 is not required today. He would need it after 3 months. And after 3 months, he don't know what this exchange rate would be. It can go up, or down. हमें नहीं पता ये exchange rate क्या होगा. It can increase also and the exchange rate can decrease also. So we don't know what it will happen. So what this person will do now, he will go ahead and he will convert this $100. He will go ahead and sell in the market today. And he will repurchase them after 3 months at that exchange rate, right? So when you go ahead and you do that, when you sell the spot currency, you go ahead and you sell the currency today, and you are signing the forward contract also today only. आपने आज ही forward contract भी sign कर लिया that, you know, in the future, I will repurchase this currency at this exchange rate. When you do the two things together as part of the same transaction, that is called as a swap. इसको हम swap बोल देते हैं. So I have given this example here, beta. So you can go ahead and consider Citibank. And we are saying that Citibank receives $1 million dollar payment today that it will need in 3 months. Right? But in the meanwhile, it wants to invest this money. तो उसके पास $1 million है and उसको ये पैसा आज नहीं चाहिए. It does not need this money today. It needs this money after 3 months. So for 3 months, it can go ahead and invest this money, earn some money out of it. So what Citibank will do now? Citibank will go ahead and get this $1 million converted, right? And after getting converted, it will get, say, euros from the Frankfurt Bank. In euros, it will invest somewhere. It will earn return on that. And in the forward market, it will go ahead and it will repurchase these euros in the future, right? So these two things take place simultaneously. दोनों transaction एक साथ हो रही हैं. It is doing a spot transaction. Exchange rate आज के exchange rate पे spot sale कर रहा है. But at the same time, it is also signing a contract. This bank is signing a contract with the other bank that in the future, I will go ahead and, you know, we will again exchange this currency at a particular exchange rate that will be determined today. वो exchange rate भी हम आज ही determine कर लेंगे. So a currency swap is basically two things. दो अलग transaction करने की जगह कि आज आप currency बेच रहे हो और 3 महीने बाद आप currency खरीद रहे हो वापस. Instead of doing two separate transactions, you go ahead and you do a swap transaction. So in swap transaction, you combine the spot sale of the currency with the forward repurchase of the same currency. Am I clear? So instead of doing these two transactions separately, spot market transaction today and forward market transaction in the future, what you go ahead and do is you do swapping. In swapping, you do the two things simultaneously as part of one transaction, right? So these are the three things that I wanted to for you to understand better. Spot rate is the current exchange rate in the market. Forward rate is the contract is signed today, but transaction takes place in the future, but the rate is signed today. And swap rate, in which spot and forward things happen together at the same time as part of one transaction. I hope this is making sense to you. This is very, very important from the exam point of view. And इसको अच्छे से समझना